Every day, somewhere in the world, people gather to remember those who are no longer with us. Some are remembered by families and close friends. Others are remembered by entire nations. And then there are those rare individuals whose lives touched millions of people through film, art, music, politics, and culture. Let's take a closer look at the lives and legacies of these extraordinary figures. George Kennedy, the Oscar-winning actor. 10 years ago this week, the entertainment world lost one of its most recognizable character actors, George Kennedy. Kennedy passed away at the age of 91, leaving behind a career that spanned more than 5 decades and over 200 film and television appearances. For many movie lovers, his name immediately brings to mind one of the most iconic prison dramas ever made, Cool Hand Luke. Released in 1967, the film starred Paul Newman as a rebellious prisoner who refuses to conform to authority. George Kennedy played Dragline, the tough chain gang leader who initially clashes with Newman's character before eventually becoming one of his strongest supporters. The role earned Kennedy the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, cementing his place in Hollywood history. But that was only the beginning. Throughout the 1970s, Kennedy became a familiar face in blockbuster films. He appeared in the hit disaster movie Airport, playing a rugged airline mechanic who saves a stranded aircraft during a snowstorm. The film's massive success led to several sequels, all featuring Kennedy in the same beloved role. And then came another major shift in his career: comedy. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Kennedy found a whole new generation of fans through the hilarious Naked Gun film series. Starring alongside Leslie Nielsen, Kennedy played Captain Ed Hawken, the loyal but often clueless police captain who became one of the funniest characters in the franchise. What made George Kennedy special was his versatility. He could play tough villains, serious heroes, or completely ridiculous comedy characters, and he made each role believable. For over 50 years, he remained one of Hollywood's most reliable and respected actors. And today, even years after his passing, his performances continue to entertain audiences around the world. Nancy Reagan, a First Lady with a mission. Also remembered this week is Nancy Reagan, who passed away 10 years ago at the age of 94. As the wife of President Ronald Reagan, Nancy Reagan served as First Lady of the United States from 1981 to 1989. But she was far more than just the president's spouse. She became one of the most recognizable First Ladies in modern American history. And she used her platform to launch a nationwide campaign that would become famous around the world: the Just Say No campaign. During the 1980s, drug abuse had become a major concern in the United States. Nancy Reagan decided to take action. She traveled across the country speaking with students, visiting schools, and encouraging young people to reject drugs. Her message was simple, direct, and unforgettable: just say no. The phrase quickly became a cultural phenomenon. Schools adopted it, communities embraced it, and millions of young Americans heard the message. While debates about the effectiveness of the campaign still exist today, there's no doubt that Nancy Reagan brought national attention to the issue of drug prevention. Beyond politics, she was also known for her strong devotion to her husband. Throughout Ronald Reagan's presidency, and later during his battle with Alzheimer's disease, Nancy Reagan remained by his side. Her loyalty and dedication became a defining part of her legacy. And today, she is remembered as one of the most influential First Ladies of the modern era. Minnie Pearl, the comedy icon. 30 years ago this week, the world said goodbye to one of country entertainment's most beloved comedians, Sarah Ophelia Cannon. But most fans knew her by a very different name: Minnie Pearl. With her trademark straw hat and cheerful greeting, "Howdy," Minnie Pearl became a beloved figure in American entertainment. She rose to fame through radio and live performances before eventually becoming a star on the popular television variety show Hee Haw. Her comedy style was warm, friendly, and filled with playful humor about rural life. Unlike many comedians who relied on sarcasm or controversy, Minnie Pearl's humor celebrated everyday people. Her character represented the charming, talkative woman from a small town who always had a funny story to share, and audiences loved her for it. In addition to her television success, Minnie Pearl was also a respected figure in country music. She was a longtime member of the Grand Ole Opry, one of the most important institutions in country music history. For decades, she entertained audiences with stories, songs, and laughter. And when she passed away at the age of 83, fans across the country remembered her not just as a comedian, but as a symbol of warmth, kindness, and classic American humor. Georgia O'Keeffe, the artist who redefined American art. 40 years ago this week, the art world lost one of its most visionary painters, Georgia O'Keeffe. She died at the age of 98, leaving behind a body of work that forever changed American art. O'Keeffe was best known for her powerful and unique paintings of flowers, landscapes, and animal skulls. But her work was far more than simple nature paintings. She had an extraordinary ability to take ordinary objects and transform them into something dramatic and emotional. Her flower paintings, for example, were often created on a massive scale, filling the entire canvas with vibrant colors and delicate shapes. These works forced viewers to see nature in a completely new way. Instead of small details, O'Keeffe magnified them. She turned a simple flower into an enormous visual experience. Much of her inspiration came from the landscapes of New Mexico, where she spent many years of her life. The deserts, mountains, and open skies became central themes in her work. Today, Georgia O'Keeffe is widely considered one of the most important artists in American history. Her paintings are displayed in major museums across the world, and her influence continues to inspire artists decades after her passing. Dean Stockwell, a career that spanned generations. This week also marks the birth anniversary of actor Dean Stockwell, who would have turned 90 years old. Stockwell had one of the most fascinating careers in Hollywood history. He began acting as a child in the 1940s, appearing in films like The Boy with Green Hair. But unlike many child stars, his career didn't fade as he grew older. Instead, he reinvented himself again and again. Over the decades, Stockwell appeared in a wide variety of films and television shows. One of his most memorable roles came in the science fiction television series Quantum Leap, where he played Admiral Al-Kalavixai. The show became a major hit and introduced Stockwell to a whole new generation of viewers. He also appeared in films like Blue Velvet and the modern reboot of Battlestar Galactica, proving that his talent could adapt to any genre. When Dean Stockwell passed away in 2021 at the age of 85, he left behind a legacy that stretched across nearly 8 decades of entertainment. Few actors in Hollywood history have enjoyed such a long and diverse career. Honoring lives through memorial flags. While the entertainment world remembers famous figures, communities across the United States also honor the lives of everyday heroes. One of the most powerful symbols of remembrance in America is the lowering of the national flag to half-staff. When the flag is lowered, it signals a moment of mourning and respect. It tells the nation that someone important has been lost. Sometimes it honors national leaders. Other times it honors soldiers, police officers, or public servants who dedicated their lives to helping others. Recently, flags across several states have been lowered to remember individuals who served their communities with courage and dedication. Among those honored were soldiers who lost their lives in military service, state representatives who served their communities for many years, and law enforcement officers who died in the line of duty while protecting others. These gestures remind us that heroism is not limited to movie screens or political stages. Real heroes often serve quietly in their communities, and when they are gone, the nation pauses to honor their sacrifice. Why remembering matters. In a world that moves faster every day, it can be easy to forget the people who helped shape the past. New headlines appear every hour. New celebrities rise to fame. New stories dominate the news cycle. But remembering the lives of those who came before us is important, because their achievements built the world we live in today. Actors like George Kennedy brought unforgettable characters to life on screen. Leaders like Nancy Reagan used their influence to tackle social issues. Artists like Georgia O'Keeffe transformed how we see the world around us. Comedians like Minnie Pearl reminded us that laughter can bring people together. And performers like Dean Stockwell proved that passion and dedication can sustain a lifetime career. Each of these individuals contributed something unique, something lasting, something that continues to influence the world today. Time moves forward for all of us, but the impact of a meaningful life never truly disappears. It lives on through stories, through art, through films, through memories shared by millions of people. This week's anniversaries remind us of the incredible contributions made by actors, artists, leaders, and entertainers whose work shaped culture and history. Though they may no longer be with us, their legacy continues to inspire new generations. And as long as their stories are told, their voices will never truly fade. If you enjoy learning about the lives and legacies of remarkable people, make sure to follow the channel and stay connected. Every week we share stories that celebrate history, honor influential figures, and remember the individuals who shaped our world. Because remembering the past isn't just about looking back, it's about understanding the journey that brought us here, and ensuring that the stories of extraordinary lives are never forgotten.